This is a really big topic that we're covering off today. We've only got 30 minutes to cover it off, or 28 minutes now. We're going to take a bit of a quick deep dive, given that we've got these exceptionally experienced panellists up here with global experience across that development and operation of entertainment and retail assets. But before we can operate an asset or focus on what goes on inside the box, we must first deliver it. And that is where we come in to focusing on the development side of retail at the moment. So let's start that discussion here, Ilona, shall we? Now, we know that the life cycle of retail to development can be super complex. There's a lot of people involved to getting these assets open. But it doesn't need to necessarily be difficult. We have these conversations a lot based on our experience together. But Ilona, can you share with us, your experience spans across revenue accountability for assets into the billions of dollars in Australia, and you've seen many retail developments delivered under your leadership. From that experience, can you share some examples of success stories that showcase the power of technology in retail project delivery?
Oh, thank you, Rachel, and thank you for welcoming me to Dubai. It's been a wonderful experience. I suppose because this is such a far-reaching topic, I'm just going to concentrate in a couple of areas in the development space, as then it leads to the operations of businesses moving forward. I suppose the key area in terms of development is if you don't have your teams set up, you don't have the right teams, and you don't have the right tools, this is actually the area where developers, boards, investors really start to feel the pinch. I suppose what we've learned over the years is fantastic teams are terrific, but the teams to deliver a development are really quite complex. So by the time you bring the arms of your financial accounting arms to the table, your architects, developer designers, project managers, leasing, a number of those skill sets actually need a whole lot of tech pieces to help them make some decisions. What generally comes to the table is a whole lot of siloed tech. What we've found in terms of success is there's probably a couple of areas where there's been some really good evolution and growth to help businesses make decisions and to get greater insight and stakeholder involvement. Probably the first one is in visualisation. So there's a whole lot of great architectural tools that are in the market now. Revit, ArchiCAD, Twinmotion's just started to come into this space, which is extraordinarily helpful. So really being able to visualise your development. So they would ultimately be presented to you as a prospective retailer to understand what the space might actually look like. From a developer point of view, you really understand what it is that you're ultimately delivering. If you've got financial arms, boards, stakeholders, shareholders, etc., who want to go on that journey, you're able to share that as well. I suppose the other one to focus on is that tenancy delivery piece. So just from a development point of view, when you just think you're about to open your development and it's not long now, we come to the very complex piece of our retailers coming in to deliver their space inside the box. That involves 8, 10, 12 sometimes skill sets to be able to bring all of those pieces together. And so you really need a piece of tech to help you bring and coordinate all of those pieces, limit mistakes, increase efficiencies, etc. TCPinpoint has done that for a couple of the projects that I've headed up, and it's a really valuable tool, which has been really very successful in limiting downtime, cost efficiencies, problem solving, collaboration. And that's really the point of tech in developments. That's its job. It's not about people at all. It's about getting those efficiencies and reducing mistakes.
And Richard mentioned the T word previously where he referenced tenancy, but I think the other important word to that, which you've alluded to there, is transparency. It doesn't matter, there are so many people involved in getting all of these spaces open. How can we make sure that they all are transparency across the process? All right, so we've looked at the outside of the box. Let's go inside the box now, Mohamed, which is where your expertise comes in. Can you share with us a little bit more in relation to how can immersive and experiential entertainment technologies be effectively integrated into retail spaces to enhance both customer engagement and foot traffic? We want to bring, the developers want to bring the foot traffic to the environment. Can you share us a little bit more about your experience of those technologies and how you do that?
Thanks, Rochelle, for having me here with you. Also, I'm very delighted to be part of this over the 12 years joining MECSC. I think immersive technology and also the technology and digital era where we are living here, I think it's very important to be engaged with retail and all of that, because I think the current situation of all retail segment where it's a mini warehouse which is very a bit organized inside it, but it's not evolving with the technology of AI and AI, which is in the other side from e-commerce and omni-channels and other aspects. I think retail need to be in the same segment of technology rather than the virtual one. So I think all retail need to be linked with AR and VR technology, where really is AR. I want to come to a shop and I want to see if the makeup colors is match my skin. So I want to connect. I don't want to come and collect 10 pieces of rouge of any others just to put it in my skin and check if it works on my skin or not. Could be with technology engagement that inside the shop that really just could be apart in the same of style and this color fit with your style, with your skin. That's also technology is there, but I see only a retrofit on the market where a new foreign shop, good foreign shop for the brand, while the integration is still the same. We have, if you want to have your shoes, still you want to try many styles and you want to back and forth in the same shop to get it. While if there is a technology behind it that, okay, the brown could fit you on this style, the other color of your shirt, the pants and the jacket, all of that. There is a technology already there, but we're keeping retrofit all the shops with the same exact style and it's with the new trends, lighting, which doesn't affect on the customer behaviors. Customer behaviors, they want to adapt quickly. I hate going with my wife to a makeup shop because she keep maybe 30 to 45 minutes choosing colors, okay? Because and this is gonna be a big nightmare for everyone shopping because technology is not there. So I think immersive technology is very important for actual experience because we are still human. We want to touch, we want to feel. Omni-channel will be a part, but it's not the full part.
Can you give some examples of that in some of the brilliant developments that you're working on at the moment? I mean, we can see that your target market are really, really eager to have those immersive experiences.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Are there any examples of those that you'd like to share with us outside of?
I think we really, the new era, we are investing heavily on technology. I think our group, especially from customer experience, we're really working on a full-fledged concept of wallet, which integrate all our concept in one platform and connecting with all our brands, connecting with all our suppliers. It's all in one drop shop entertainment. So connecting the eye guarding system where you can leave your kids and enjoy shopping in a safe environment. You click it, it's one application. You can communicate with all platform of gaming. You can see what your kids spend. You can see a lot of what your kids like. And it's a really evolving application work. It's a heavy investment, but I think this is the next wallet generation where you need tap and pay from everything. So with You want to play with your mobile, you want to pay by your mobile, you want everything in your mobile. So we are doing that now with all our platform and from entertainment. I think we connect all the communicate. You need to reserve timing, you need to have your drinks, you need to have your food. It's everything from one platform.
I know you're very passionate about that.
Yeah,
our pre-conversations before the session today, your passion for that was really impressive. And that takes us on to the next topic that we wanted to discuss, and that was around the dwell times. So because the topic is such a large one to discuss the commonality between the two, what we found was that in perhaps the entertainment environment, the dwell time is really wanting to be extended to ensure that spend is increased and the value to the customer is provided. And then we were looking at that in comparison to the airport environment, Ilona, where we're looking at that dwell time is shorter because the nature of people wanting to attend an airport, they want to get to the gate, they want to be relaxed. But we found that crossover between those two environments a really interesting one. So, Ilona, from your perspective, perhaps you can share what entertainment looks like in a dwell time restricted environment, and how can passengers and customers' attention be attracted, if you like, given that pathway through airports has to be so guided. And there's a couple of questions here, and perhaps have you seen successful strategies to increase that dwell time, and what, in your opinion, are the best platforms to use?
Well, I think, Rachel, you've probably touched on it. Airports are a time-poor environment generally, and our role, first and foremost, is actually to get people on a plane. So quite often the mindset of the retail environment or the mindset of our passenger as they're moving through is quite different to perhaps a shopping centre environment. So one of the things that we do is we look to connect with our passengers well before they arrive at the airport. It's actually easier said than done. There's a lot of information that the airlines have about our passenger and their behaviour that isn't necessarily shared with an airport for various different reasons. So we're looking for pieces of tech that give us some insight as to what our passengers may be doing and when they may be arriving in the airport. One of the best tools that we have is actually pre-booking of car parking. So as our passengers engage in pre-booking of car parking, we can ask them some questions and we can push marketing to them. So we understand a bit more about what they are, and then hopefully our passengers can start to engage much earlier in that passenger journey. Once we've got them to the airport, from an entertainment perspective, our job is to provide surprise and delight and provide relaxation for our passengers and provide some entertainment for those passengers, particularly who are travelling with families. So you will see in future, you'll find your world and my world colliding much more. And that's really starting to be explored a lot more as we globally now move around the planet again. That airport experience is going to change.
I think that's the most exciting part, really, is seeing that global movement increase post-COVID. But that kind of synergy would be really exciting, I think, to see how that entertainment value can be increased in that airport environment.
Monopoly land at the airport.
Yeah.
I think we are working for something very important in all across the airport in Saudi, because the missing part is entertainment, where our new technology is coming in that really to put a dedicated area for kids and family, where there is sometimes a lot of time you spend in airport with your family, but you have nothing to do, especially if you have kids. So we are allowing now tap and play technology with your credit card directly that you can play and enjoy. So this will be coming very soon, part of our initiative of investment of technology across all airports in the kingdom. Then we move ahead on the whole Middle East.
What a beautiful way to enable a seamless transaction with your assets as well.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay. Look, my next question is for both of you, insofar as the evolving landscape of retail and entertainment. What are your predictions? Perhaps I'll start with you, Ilona, for the next big breakthroughs or trends that will shape the industry for the coming years.
I'll probably answer this at three levels, perhaps from a development point of view, perhaps just from a global city point of view, what construction looks like, and then what to perhaps expect inside the box from our retailers as well, and just bringing together a whole lot of those discussions over the last couple of years. I think from a project development point of view, we're going to see a lot more tech play its part in solving efficiencies, transparency, sharing of information, reporting, etc. Tools that actually allow us to do that quite easily. So for those of the teams that are on the ground who may be dealing with the delivery of an extraordinarily complex development, there will be more tools in the marketplace in future. The intent would be that they're actually not siloed tools to suit each department that needs to deliver the development, but they'll actually be an integrated process. I think that'll take some time for us to get there. From a bricks and mortar point of view, I think what we will see is we'll see much more integrated developments and hybrid developments. We'll continue to see leisure centres, entertainment precincts, hospital systems, all coming together in a residential environment. I think that's very clear as land is scarce, that will be one of the key drivers. I think one of the parts, something that perhaps the futurists haven't covered yet, but it's something that we certainly think about in the transport industry, is how will people actually move around in future, and what kind of real estate do perhaps cars and car parks and so on take up. So perhaps something for everybody to think about. You know, perhaps in future we might not be using road transport. Perhaps we'll be using Jetson style, flying in our small helicopters. That might be actually how we're moving around, and that will then start to dictate how we might treat our hybrid cities and so on. So I'm not sure that the tech is actually that far away. Whether it's actually introduced in that manner, time will tell. And I suppose then finally, from what happens inside the box from retail point of view, and equally from an owner and developer, from a marketing point of view, we could certainly expect to see more omni-channel, more integrated tech within stores, seamless, connected and easy way in which you can interact both with the asset that you're walking through, but equally within the box itself, and how our retailers interact and how the landlord interacts with customers.
There's some great collections there. We've already seen yesterday with our keynote speaking around prescriptions being delivered by drone. I think that next step is just that next level up where they can actually put a physical body inside. It's really exciting what's to come. Mohamed?
I think in addition to the technology and the tech and omni-channels and the era of robot and all of that, I think it's very important word, as he mentioned in the last panel. I think influencing is a very important word, where it's a cover many things. I think this is the new trend: influencing of brand, influencing of IP, influencing of people. So this is also a very huge trend where communicate with kids and family. Influencing of people. I have my kids. They follow some people in e-gaming, all of that, daily, for food, for nagging, for anything they do. So that's influencing people is very trend part, and it's coming to increase. Influencing brand from IB perspective. So we're developing the IB, which is a trend right now from what we develop, like Hasbro, Mattel. You see World of Barbie, how it's happening with the movie release. I think this is also very important trends is coming, and it's coming very closely, especially in Saudi, with more IB basis attractions building everywhere. Influencing of people, very important. Influencing the brand is engaging. So we want to reflect that on the entertainment side of IB. I remember I was in UK one time, and I have many brands on the floor, but one of the brands I don't know it exactly. I never heard about it. But now we sign with them already. But I asked my two girls already. I asked them. I called them. Do you know anything about Miraculous? Then he said, yes, Miraculous is Ladybug, is a season 5 in Netflix. She gave me the whole story. While I never hear about this brand, while we are doing a big entertainment in the Middle East with them right now, it's the same with many other brands. So IB is becoming very important nowadays, trends in every, because it's communicate with people, it's communicate with retail, it's communicate with media, it's everything in one shop. Physical or basic entertainment is not anymore communicating with right approach with the next generation or the generation Z, which is very important to communicate. So I think what we are doing in the Galleria Mall Abu Dhabi with Mattel, which is Hot Wheel, Barbie, Mega Block, is a good example of trends and IB. What we are doing in opening end of this month in Boulevard World with our partner from Sela, which is the first Coco Melon and the first Monopoly life size in Boulevard World, and also Hasbro Play City. So IB is really a big trend of everywhere. We're creating lifestyle destinations and entertainment.
Thank you. Intellectual property, absolutely, very big topic. I'm sure there's a few lawyers out there that would also be very keen to get involved in that conversation. And look, finally, my last question to both of you, given the theme of this year's conference is all about reinvestment, and we've had a lot of topics around that covered over the last couple of days, particularly around reinvesting in people and experiences and assets. Taking inspiration from that, Mohamed, would you like to go first to share with us what you think asset owners, where they should focus their efforts of the reinvestment theme moving forward?
I think what we can see and what's happening in all over across us, I think reinvestment is a big part, and I think it's not only tenant to reinvestment, and I'm representing tenant right now, so it is only landlord need to reinvestment, need to reinvestment in the customer experience, need to reinvestment engaging with tenant, reinvestment of the property itself. So it's very important, the part of reinvestment in technology and how you're communicating with the brand, how you communicate. I see many malls are doing that, and see some others are not doing it, and that is always the challenge of reinvestment. Reinvestment is very important for your property to come back. With the new development coming, especially in Saudi now, and also partially in Dubai, is very important that all the assets you need to reinvest quickly, otherwise you will die. I don't want to give example what happened here when Mall of Emirates arrived and Dubai Mall arrived. Then all the assets which they didn't consider reinvestment, where they are now. So I advise everyone on the reinvestment of your property, very important, because what's coming in Saudi now is very massive, is the latest technology, latest mixed-use project. So the reinvestment is a big part from your assets, otherwise you will die.
Thank you. And Ilona, your thoughts?
I'll probably take maybe a front-end approach to the question. From a development point of view, I think if developments are built for the future, they're taking into account global sustainability issues, adaptability being built into the developments themselves, addressing things like renewable energy, solar power, and generative AI technology. All of those things, although they sit with the developer in the first instance, they're actually all about running much more efficient buildings, and ultimately there's some rent benefits for everybody along the way as well in terms of the costs to run the building. I guess equally I would share your sentiment that the retailer-landlord relationship is absolutely a partnership, and it's about constant reinvestment. It's about using data and using analytics and understanding what's coming next, particularly in a really fast-moving world.
Thank you. Well, thank you all for having us up here talking about this very big topic. We hope that we've provided you with a little bit of insight across quite a wide topic of the lifestyle development and operation. Thank you. Please thank you our panellists too.
Thank you.